Hey guys, it's Charlene. Today we're going to be making a multi-window shaker card. We're going to be using the Tall Christmas Trees 6x6 stencil. We're pairing that with the A2 Scene Building Rectangle 1 die, as well as the Forest Critters Stopping By to Say Hey stamps and coordinating dies. So cute. And then we are going to be using this lovely Woodlands Sequin Plus mix, as well as this Bears in the Forest Sequin Plus mix. And we're going to use one of the Luxe colors. We're going to use Spanish Moss, which is just beautiful. So let's get started. Coming in here with that Tall Christmas Trees 6x6 stencil, and I have some repositionable spray on the back of my stencil, and I'm using some Distress Oxide. I'm going to be using the color Pine Needles on 2 of the trees, and then I'm going to be using Evergreen Bough on 2 of the trees. So I'm creating a scene, and I'm using Distress Oxides here because they are opaque. I can layer them and you're not going to be able to see really the color that's underneath. So that'll make more sense as we go along. So I finished up one tree, and then I'm going to do a tree in the same color on the right hand side. And you'll see the 2 trees I'm going to do after this are going to be slightly inset from the outside trees, and I'm going to do those in the Evergreen Bough. So those first 2 trees were in Pine Needles, and then these 2 trees are going to be in Evergreen Bough. Really, really pretty. You do want to be careful using these really finely detailed stencils just because they have lots of little pieces, and it's a good idea to make sure they are good and down on your paper with some of that repositionable spray, so that way you don't bend or break off any of those tiny little gorgeous detail pieces. So real small strokes, and I'm kind of going along the lines of the stencil. I'm trying not to do anything that's going to bend those little stencil pieces. You can mask off as needed. I'm kind of messy, so I needed to have a little bit of masking tape there. And now I'm coming in to do my center tree, and this I'm going to be doing in that Spanish Moss Paper Glaze Luxe. Oh, I love this so much. I've just got a little bit there on my spatula, and I'm kind of dabbing it into all of the different parts of the stencil. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth or anything like that. Especially when you're doing something like a tree, you kind of actually want it to have a little bit of variation so that it looks more natural when you're all done. Once I get that glaze all in there, I'm going to go ahead and peel up my stencil and take that and get it washed. You do want to get that off as soon as possible. So I'm using the A2 Scene Building Rectangle 1 die. This is a great die for making multi-window shaker cards because it has all of those fun little openings. So I just went ahead and put down some double-sided tape, and then I'm securing my piece of acetate to the back of it. And then I've cut some strips of the Picket Fence Studios adhesive foam, and I've gone around and I've made sure that I have everything covered. You could fill up all the windows. I'm only going to fill 2, and you'll see that in just a little bit here. Coming in with some of that Picket Fence Studios black hybrid ink. I just love this ink. It is so versatile. It works for coloring, it works for watercoloring, and it just has a really nice black color. It does stay wet for a little bit, which is really nice because you can also heat emboss with it. And you're going to see in a little bit, I did leave my stamps in my MISTI because once I'm done coloring, I am going to go ahead and go back in and restamp and do some clear embossing powder over the top to add a little bit of shine to where the stamped lines are. Lots of fun. For my colors here on the deer, I am using some Copic markers. You also could use colored pencils or any other kind of alcohol ink, whatever you wanted to use, your watercolors, all kinds of different mediums that you could use to color in these cute little critters. So for the deer, I've got E53 and E57. I'm just blending the 2 colors together. Nothing fancy here, and then I'm going to come in with some W7, a warm gray, for my little hooves on the deer. I think that looks really nice on any kind of animals, coloring in their hooves with those darker warm grays. And then for my bear, I'm going to be using similar colors, but I'm going to use E53, E57, and E59. I wanted my bear to be a little bit darker than my deer. So you can see I started out with that E59 all the way around the edge, and then I blended it out a little bit with the E57. And then I came in with the E53, my lightest color, and then I'm kind of doing it all over again until I get the blending that I like. I am here doing some tip-to-tip coloring. That's where I'm taking the E53 and I'm dabbing it on the tip of the E57 to get a little bit darker shade. That is something you can do with the alcohol ink markers, and it works really well. So here I am restamping. You can see I left those guys right there on my Misty, and I could come right back in. You do just want to make sure that you get your card panel right back down in the corner of your stamping platform. And now I can come in with some clear embossing powder and heat set this, and it's going to give those stamped lines that little bit of shine, and it looks really, really nice on the front of your card. There are a ton of cute little critters in this stamp set, lots of different ones, and so definitely check it out. It's perfect for any kind of forest scene, especially with the holidays coming up. You could also use it for a winter scene and it would look great. Once I get that done, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the high from the same stamp set, and I'm just stamping that on my background there. You don't always have to have your sentiment on the front of the card. You can also have it back behind your shaker, which is what I'm doing. And then I'm just gluing the spots that are going to be touching that scene building rectangle so that I can secure my bear and my deer. I didn't want to add any more bulk to this card because I already am going to be popping up that whole shaker window. If I was hand delivering this or something like that, I might have also added some foam tape to the back of those cute little critters, only because I love lots of dimension on my cards. I think it looks really, really good and just adds a lot of interest to any kind of card you make to have the dimension from the different things going on. So now I'm coming in with the Woodland Sequin Plus Mix. I'm going to put that in the top left-hand window. And then I'm going to put the bears in the forest mix back down below my little bear there in the bottom right hand window. This is kind of fun. Like I said, you could fill up all the windows, but I wanted to just do the top left and the bottom right and not cover up too much of that gorgeous background with the luxe and everything. Now those sequins, they're just going right on top of the background. I don't have anything special there. You could put a piece of acetate back there if you wanted to, but I find as long as your glaze has dried, you're not going to have any issues with the sequins being right on top of it. Once it's dry, it'll be just fine. So here you can see I'm just playing around with the amount of sequins that I have in each window, and once I get it where I like it, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the release tape from the adhesive foam, and then I can just pop that front right on and make sure I get it pressed down really well. And then all I need to do is trim off the edges, and I could add this to the top of a card base. Now this scene building rectangle is an A2 size, so it's going to fit perfectly onto an A2 size card that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Well, there's my finished card, you guys. I hope you found some useful information today. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Picket Fence Studios YouTube channel. I hope that you'll come join us over on the Facebook community group as well as on Instagram. Until next time, happy crafting.